Welcome back, fans, once again to another episode of Coach's Corner, brought to you by Joe Clemence, Keller Williams, Integrity Northwest. We are live on location here this week from the Green Mill. Big thank you to our great corporate sponsors, that including, of course, the Green Mill, for allowing us to broadcast here today. I'm your host, Paul Vold, joined alongside head coach with the Granite City Lumberjacks, DJ Vold. Coach, it was an exciting weekend to finish off. Of course, thanks so much for taking time to talk with us today.
Appreciate you having me.
Of course, we're on location here today. You got a little team building, team bonding, and also a little bit of a workout of the team here as well, kind of break up the monotony of the week, kind of helping set up for one of the events that's going on here with the Civic Center. Yeah,
the boys came over and helped with a banquet going on for rural water. Somebody important to the organization, our assistant goalie coach, and the CEO of the Lumberjacks, my wife, Molly, is the GM of the Green Mill. So we rounded up a bunch of boys to come help dish food, fill waters, you name it, they were doing it today. So thank you to those guys that were here. We'll be back again tomorrow doing it, but it's good to get them out in front of people.
One of those optional, mandatory kind of team building conversations.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, a little bit of one of those. But, of course, we go back onto the ice as well. Exciting finish to the regular season as well. You get a road contest against Rochester and then also Alexandria to finish off the regular season. Friday night, of course, was the marquee matchup. You go into it, you're 1 point behind Rochester in the West Division standings. Whoever wins that contest has control going into the final game of the regular season on Saturday. 4-1, the team was up, Granite City that being, going into that third period. Rochester, a team you can't, let any lead kind of hold by as well. They ultimately tied up 4-4, and then you guys squeak one out there at the end. I shouldn't say squeak, but maybe grind one out there, of course, getting one with about 5 or 7 minutes left in regulation as well. You go from 4-4 to, from 4-1 to 4-4, I should say, and then ultimately get that goal to get back ahead. What was kind of really a big, difference from that point to get that lead and ultimately the win?
I mean, oddly enough, this group loves to play from behind for some reason. And we were down 1-0, but I liked the way we were playing. I liked the momentum we had and things like that. I thought we controlled a good portion of the first period after we went through like the first 7-8 minutes of kind of on our heels and on the road, and that's what happens when you play in Rochester. It's a big rink, it's loud, and they come out flying. And then we had a really, really strong second period where we pumped in 4 straight to make it 4-1, and a not-so-strong third period where that's what Rochester is capable of doing. If they get 1 and the momentum shifts, and then they get 2, and then the third one comes right after. So I was proud of the resilient effort from our group. It's a battle-tested group. Frankly, I hate to admit it, they've been through it before. But it's amazing how many times we feel like, oh boy, here we go, we're down and out, and then we dig ourselves out of the hole. So.
Yeah, of course, with carrying the momentum of that win from Friday, 1 point ahead of Rochester, you win and you get any sort of point as well going against Alexandria. You win the West Division, your number 1 seed, home ice throughout the playoffs as well. But, of course, Alexandria going on the road as well to close out the regular season. Tough no matter what, packed rank that they always have. Our fans, their fans, going back and forth. Action on the ice, scoreless through 2 periods, but you get the lead early in the third period. But just talk about leading up to that moment where you get the first goal of the game. A real back and forth contest. Each team had their chances.
Yeah, we had to lead on our goaltender, Ryan Lahette. Luckily, I think we've got the best one in the league, and he's played like it the past month and change. He's going to be the guy from here on out, and the guy who kind of will live and die by. So. Played really, really strong, obviously, with putting up a 0 against Alex. And credit to Alex, they play hard, they play tough. They're a hard team to beat. But our group was, we felt good going into the third period, and we knew if we got the first one, we were going to be tough to beat, and that kind of turned out to be the case.
Yeah, and then they ultimately kind of iced the game with about a minute and a half left. Nolan Widman gets it on a 2-on-1 there to make it a 2-0 victory as well. Get the West Division, obviously, with that win. 2-0 shutout, real good for Ryan Lahette to get that shutout as well to finish off the regular season. Now it's reset time. Of course, you go from the regular season, Fraser Cup playoffs now, West Division semifinals at home for, of course, Friday, and if necessary, a game on Sunday as well. Home ice throughout the playoffs, too. But you got Mason City to start off, too. Of course, with that matchup, it was a couple of tough games a couple of weeks ago as well, a couple of wins for the team as well, but obviously Mason City, a very competitive 4 seed in this West Division.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously it's great to win the West Division. It's the first goal we have every year, but We told the boys after the game, nothing we've done prior to this weekend matters now. We kind of have to hit the reset button and go earn all the respect that we gained all year, because we earned a lot of what we did this year. Frankly, we made it a little harder on ourselves than I would have liked, but Mason City is going to be a tough test. They've got a good leadership group down there, talented team, but it's a team we saw a lot in the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And we saw them obviously a couple weeks ago late for 2 and beat them twice. So I like where we're at heading into it, and I think we're ready to rock.
Absolutely. And of course, you can check out Puck Drop for all those contests. NAHL TV, that is going to be coming up Friday night, 7:30 Puck Drop against the Mason City Toros. That will be from Miller Buick at GMC Arena. And of course, Saturday will be on the road. Granite City will take on Mason City down in Mason City. Also 7:30 Puck Drop. Sunday, if it should be tied 1-1, we'll have Game 3 at home, 6 p.m. from Miller Buick GMC Arena. I'm your host, Paul Vold, with Coach's Corner this week. Brought to you by Joe Clemence, Keller Williams, Integrity Northwest. We're live here at the Green Mill with head coach for the Granite City Lumberjacks, DJ Vold. Coming up here after a break, we'll have a special players interview. Number 21, Connor Miller, will be coming up here after a break. Welcome back here once again to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Vold, as we are live on location here this week. Of course, Green Mill going on right behind us, one of our big sponsors. Again, a big thank you to the folks at the Green Mill for allowing us to do the Coach's Show. Time now for our player interview, of course, with Coach's Corner, brought to you by Joe Clements, Keller Williams, Integrity Northwest. Number 21 for your Lumberjacks, that is Connor Miller, joins us here this week. Millsy, thanks so much for taking time to join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, we talk about with, we get a chance here to kind of recap the weekend it was, but we obviously want to get to know all our players here. Starting off as well, tell us a little bit, who you are, how long you've been playing hockey.
Yeah, my name's Connor Miller, and I've been playing hockey for as long as I can remember. I think about 2 years old. Got raised in a hockey family, so it's all I've ever known.
Of course, coming from a hockey family as well, you want to be able to play at the highest level that you can, but what led you to come here to Granite City?
Yeah, so my last year of U18 hockey, I was actually talking to Mose at one of the showcases and continued to talk to him, and then I got the chance to tender here and thought it was a great opportunity, so I ended up signing a tender, and here we are.
Of course, with a big weekend that we just finished off with the regular season. You played a pivotal point in that game against Alexandria, but of course, we had the game on Friday night as well against Rochester. Team that comes out with that win is going to be controlling the West Division. Ultimately, a 6-4 win for the Lumberjacks over Rochester, but it was 4-1 going into the third period. They ultimately come back and rally to tie things up, and then obviously kind of gutting out a win there for a 6-4 final. Going from 4-1 to 4-4, and then what was really a big rallying point for the team to ultimately get that win?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there's some guys that stepped up, some of our older guys, which are leaders. Got a big goal there with about 7 minutes left, which was huge for the team. And then Comer got the empty netter, which pulled us to 5-3, which was awesome. Yeah,
that being able to put the Lumberjacks 1 point ahead of Rochester going into the final game of the regular season and finishing out, of course, with a win against Alexandria. But we talk about going in that hostile environment in Alexandria. It was 0-0 going into the third period. You get us going with a goal early in that third period. I mean, obviously, that's got to be a great feeling to get the monkey off the team's back there, to at least get the first lead, and Alexandria plays the first mistake of the contest.
Yeah, it was a back-and-forth game all game. It just had a feeling whoever got the first one was going to probably win the game, and got to give credit to Joe, who had an awesome pass to me on the back door, and Whitty, who had a nice goal later in the game to take the tension off us, and it's a great win for the boys.
Of course, clinching the West Division in that victory as well, but also a big thing coming out of that too is going to be home ice advantage through the playoffs as well for the division semifinals and finals, number 1 seed. So getting that home ice advantage has got to be a huge relief for the team too.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, our fans are great. Playing in front of them is always such a great experience. So getting home for the whole playoffs will be awesome.
Yeah, of course, we've got the matchup coming up here this weekend from Miller Buick GMC Arena for Friday night. It's going to be against the Mason City Toros. They are the 4 seed, but a team that, it's been a couple of weekends since you played them as well. 2 weekends to be exact, but since before that as well, almost 2.5, if not 3 months. But looking back a couple of weekends ago, what do you guys really remember and take away from that couple of weekends, which were very hard-fought contests?
Yeah, they got a great team. They defend very well, so we just got to play our game and not take them lightly and hopefully we'll be able to get it done this weekend.
Of course, that is going to be a 7:30 puck drop this Friday night from Miller Buick at GMC Arena. Then Game 2 will be down in Mason City, taking on the Toros. 7:30 puck drop, but then if Game 3 should happen on Sunday, 6 p.m. puck drop right here from Sauk Rapids. As we get now to our time here with our players interview, it's time for some rapid fire questions. You ready for it, Millsy?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to start off a couple basic ones. What's kind of that little pregame routine that you kind of do to get yourself ready, either before you come to the rink, when you're at the rink, or just before you get on the ice?
All right, yeah, so I got to wake up right in the morning, get a coffee, grab a Jimmy John's sandwich for breakfast and then for before the game. Then go home, get my Lumberjacks on, get the hips ready, and then get the legs ready. And then go to the rink, just play some sewer with the boys, just some normal stretching, nothing too crazy.
What's the Jimmy John's order?
Number 5, the Vito.
Ooh,
Let's go
I like
to.
that. Respectable. What's you probably already mentioned it right there with the pregame meal. Anything else you kind of get when you get to the rink there? Try to keep things light.
Yeah, I'll normally eat a Jimmy John's sandwich and then a peanut butter and jelly before the game.
With Granite City, do you prefer, which one's your favorite, the red or the white sweaters?
I got to go with the Reds.
The Reds?
Big fan of the Reds, yeah.
Absolutely. Me too. Favorite away rink that you've played at here with Granite City?
Alexandria.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So, and we've kind of come here to a point of the season where you guys have been comfortable around each other enough. Who is the one guy on the team that thinks he's the strongest out of everybody?
Strongest? That's a good question. I got to go with Lester. Guy always, he just thinks he's a strong guy.
Yeah.
He's just not.
Of
Never
course.
never working out or anything. So
Has nothing to do with the fact that he's standing just right over here. Sitting, I should say, right next to us over here.
No,
Who is the
not at
guy
all.
on the team that is you actually think is the strongest on the team? Not Finn Greeley over here to our left as well.
Sneaky. For his size, Portner's a pretty strong guy.
Okay.
And Langer's a strong guy too. So
who's the guy on the team that's got the worst goal celebration?
I had to go with Patty Deniski.
Ooh.
Always looking for the camera to sell you in front of.
Of course, got to know all the angles.
Yep.
Who is the one guy on the team? Of course, we've had a lot of bus trips throughout the year. Who's the one guy on the team that in your opinion, is the worst guy to be on the bus with?
Sorry. I gotta go with Justin Lester as well. Guy's always like clowning around trying to start some stuff.
I love it. I love it. Number 21 with your Granite City Lumberjacks, Connor Miller here joins us here this week. Millsy, we appreciate the time for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Coach's Corner this week brought to you by Joe Clemence, Keller Williams, Integrity Northwest. We're live here with the Green Mill. Of course, be sure to stay up to date with your Granite City Lumberjacks by going to lumberjackshockey.com. 7:30 puck drop. We open up the postseason with the Fraser Cup playoffs. 7:30 puck drop from Miller Buick at GMC Arena for Game 1 of the West Division semifinals. A 7:30 puck drop Saturday down in Mason City. That will be coming up as well. If Game 3 should happen, that'll be a 6 p.m. puck drop from Miller Buick GMC Arena in Sauk Rapids. Of course, this is Coach's Corner. Talk to you guys next week. Thanks again.